People don't understand how
Stacking in my bag. Yeah, stacking in my bag. I like crypto grind. Currency's flowing, every coin's on my mind. My Coinbase the upper, watch your numbers climb. In this damn fine, feeling so prime. Hustling these protocols, phones in the van. Acting on my radar, I can't understand. Jumping on the wave, watch me move the plan. Holding diamond hands in this crypto land. Got my eyes on the prize, making moves like a king. Every transaction here, cash raises ring. Ride a blockchain, we won't never be slow. In the world of finance, that's the profit.
if you're holding real world assets, utility assets, you are a bank.
Yeah, of course we go over the news and stuff, but we just do what feels natural when we be doing our thing.
You gotta get this money on. All right, bet we in here. What's good, y'all? What to do? Make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure y'all hit that like button on the way in. Y'all gotta hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button. We gotta get the subscribers up. I was just telling them on TikTok, we gotta get numbers up. We need everybody to hit the like button. We need everybody to subscribe. It's 22 people in here right now. We should have 22 likes.
Should have 25 likes.
I'm gonna have to get more strict on it because I'm realizing like it may not even really be y'all. I think part of it is the suppression and the shadow banning. So I'm gonna have to be a little bit more strict on them likes. Like I'm not gonna be able to get straight into it until them likes match the views. Because other than that, you hating. Other than that, you hate 21 people over here on YouTube. It should be 21 likes. Let me go ahead over here. Just hit the like button real quick. We'll get started. Yeah. I'm gonna have to get a little bit more anal on that because it's like we gotta. Me and D, we trying, but we gotta survive. We gotta get the numbers up. We got to. I have to be a little bit more strict on that. We bring in the consistency every day. Y'all relying on us for the news to get your crypto fix and all that stuff. All we asking in return is for some engagement. We got to get the engagement up. I was just asking them, and y'all can, and I want y'all feedback over here on YouTube. But as far as news and updates and everything. Is BlockNation the biggest black crypto channel? Would y'all say we had the biggest black crypto channel in the space? Y'all let us know. I'm anxious to see what y'all think over here on YouTube. For those that just tapped in on TikTok, y'all can tap in on this as well. Y'all can chime in. But does BlockNation have the biggest channel for black people in the crypto space? Yeah, somebody just said on there on TikTok, every Monday, can we fill the gift gallery here? Team and push the page, we can do more. Yeah, I'm learning about the gifts and stuff on YouTube. If y'all do fill up that gift gallery, it does help the channel.
Yeah. Regal Rose.
Yeah. Somebody said no, Calvin Hill. I said for news and updates. He doesn't do news and updates.
Nah, he doesn't do news and updates.
He doesn't do news and updates. Doesn't do news and updates. Yeah, y'all let us know. I don't really know a channel that does news and updates for black people that's bigger than ours. So with that being said, y'all can kind of see why it's suppressed. We're talking about something that's going to be bigger than a .com boom. So of course they're suppressing the channel. They don't want to liberate black people. They want us to stay in poverty.
And we're making it very, very, very obvious. Very obvious.
And we simplifying it and getting straight to the point. So, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. That's just me. So I'm gonna have to get a little bit more anal. Yeah, that's what I was checking the likes.
Overall consensus is yes, though. Overall consensus is yes.
Yeah. Calvin does chart analysis. Thank you. Exactly. I was talking about news and updates. For news and updates. Let me see where we at. 50 people watching. We got 50 people watching. Where the likes at?
46 likes. 47.
All right. So it's 51 people in here. So it's a couple y'all didn't like the live when y'all came in. Can y'all hit that like button for me? It's about 5 of y'all that didn't like the live. Can y'all hit the like button? Need y'all to hit that like button. Appreciate y'all. All right. So we got a couple things to go over. So why Texas is buying Bitcoin from BlackRock before building a reserve? So we'll go over that article first.
Okay. Shout out to Texas. What they doing over there?
Shout out to Texas.
A
So
lot of big money over there.
No, Texas got some big things coming, especially with this Texas Stock Exchange. Texas gonna have a big year in 2026 and beyond, especially 2027. They're gonna go crazy in 2027. But yes, Texas is buying Bitcoin from BlackRock before building a real reserve. So, as announced recently, Texas made a $5 million investment in iShares Bitcoin Trust, which is IBIT, the spot Bitcoin ETF that is managed by BlackRock. So this is the first confirmed step in implementing the new established Texas Strategic Bitcoin Reserve, a reserve fund created under legislation signed earlier in 2025. So the state has allocated a total of $10 million to the reserve. The first $5 million was deployed via IBIT. The plan is to eventually acquire actual Bitcoin directly under self-custody once the state's custody and liquidity framework is fully in place. So Bitcoin was purchased at roughly $87,000 per coin, a time and many see as opportunistic. Listen, that explains this dip. They definitely trying to get in soon. So but yeah, why this matters? So first mover institutional adoption at the state level. So Texas is now the first U.S. state to allocate public funds for Bitcoin as part of a reserve strategy that sets a precedent for other subnational governments to follow. And then bridging traditional finance with crypto rails. So using an ETF first is a smart bridge. First is a smart bridge. It allows the states to gain exposure under a regulated familiar structure while it builds out self-custody. This reduces friction, regulatory concerns, and operational risk compared to buying crypto outright. So this is also signaling crypto as a reserve asset and not just a speculative asset. With laws like the strategic Bitcoin reserve, Bitcoin begins to join the ranks of reserve assets alongside sovereign bonds, fiat reserves, maybe even gold. So for macro analysis, that's huge. The infrastructure for crypto reserves is being legitimized and institutionalized. So the potential supply side pressure on Bitcoin. So if more states or large institutions follow this path, combining ETF exposure with long-term self-custody, demand rises while supply could tighten, especially if coins are held offline. So that could materially shift Bitcoin supply curve and pricing dynamics. So yeah, what to watch for is transition from ETF to self-custody. So the real test comes when Texas finalizes custody infrastructure and moves from IBIT to direct Bitcoin holdings. That shift has operational and security implications, but also could strengthen the legitimacy of state-level crypto treasuries. Other states jumping in. So similar reserve legislation or crypto reserve moves may arrive in other states or even other countries. So that could create a cascade of institutional demand, especially in jurisdictions with macro instability, high inflation, or currency risk. And then you have the regulatory and political scrutiny. So as public funds enter crypto, expect greater scrutiny from taxpayers, auditors, and regulators. Mistakes or losses could provoke backlash. The state must design custody transparency and risk management protocols carefully. So the impact on broader macro flow. So this could represent the early stages of a larger shift where crypto becomes integrated into public treasury and reserve asset frameworks, not just private portfolios. So that might alter capital flows, perceived liquidity, and global reserve asset composition. So yeah, this is definitely a structural signal. So crypto is no longer, of course, a niche or a fringe. It's entering official public sector balance sheet. So that amplifies the importance of including regulated crypto or Bitcoin exposure in macro diversified portfolios. So the bridge via ETF self-custody pathway is instructive. So for investors or institutions hesitant about direct self-custody risk, regulated ETF exposure may be a viable entry point with the option to convert later. That's what they want.
Yeah.
They want the sheep that's coming in. I'm sorry, the people, the general public, that's coming in. They taking the ETF route, not the self custody route, because they don't want them to get hip to being their own bank and operating as one by earning yield and learning about DeFi. So
no, that's a good point. That's a good point.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
it's all a bigger, it's all a play to a bigger play at the end of the day. And you already know BlackRock is the largest digital asset manager in the entire globe. So Texas, a lot of stuff is moving to Texas anyway. A lot of stuff is moving to Texas.
Yeah.
You know, New York ain't gonna have a large portion of the market share of the money no more when it comes to stocks, because Texas knows what's up. That's why they launch it next year, because we getting tokenized stocks, and they right on time with theirs. Shout out to Texas, man.
Yeah, shout out to Texas, gang. I told you, Texas.
You almost went out there, baby. You almost went out there, baby.
Man, Wall Street mad as hell, because Wall Street know when this Texas Stock Exchange go live, them Texans gonna be calling them brokers, hey, move my shit off of Wall Street, and yeah, I want my stuff here in the great state of Texas. Yeah, y'all know how they talk out there. All them rich folks out there in Texas, they gonna move that money expeditiously. So get ready for it. Texas, I'm looking for to have a big year. 2026, 2027, and beyond. Texas got a lot coming, so definitely be paying attention to Texas. So let's talk about Barcelona real quick.
Yeah, fam.
About Barcelona, so they distancing themselves from crypto sponsor. What's going on with that?
It looked like they got either they got or they got caught red-handed, you know, and they don't want to catch all this backlash. So basically, FC Barcelona, which is, you know, very popular soccer club, very popular. That's why I wanted to cover this. They signed a 3-year sponsorship with this small blockchain startup called Zero Knowledge Proof, ZKP, and it's registered in Samoa. 10 days later, ZKB launched its own cryptocurrency token. And then fans and media worried that the club's global audience might think the token was official or safe because of the partnership. And then Barcelona's response is the club publicly said it has no connection whatsoever with ZKP's token, and it promised more transparency about its commercial partners and to share updates if anything changes. And people are concerned because ZKP has limited online presence and an anonymous team, which raises red flags about transparency and investor protection. So some crypto sports deals in Europe have already run into problems with non-payment, regulatory warnings. So scrutiny is very high. So, you know, the bigger picture in football, aka soccer, is that many clubs are under financial pressure and are turning to crypto sponsors as gambling ads get tighter. And then over 1/3 of the top European clubs now have crypto trading sponsors. And examples of that would be Arsenal with Bitpanda, PSG with Crypto.com, and Kraken with RP Leipzig. Forgive me if I'm mispronouncing it. And previous deals with the Spurs. They had previous deals with the Spurs and Atletico, and Serie A clubs partnering with various crypto firms. So while many sponsors are established and transparent, clubs are being pushed to vet partners carefully and protect the fans, as they should, fam. As they should. Why are you getting into partnerships with people that don't really have a presence or don't have credibility? You know what I'm saying? That's my thing. Did somebody not do their due diligence, or did they just be like, hey, let's do a partnership? There's a lot of money in it for you, and they just saw dollar signs. It seems like what it is to me. They just saw dollar signs, and they were just like, yeah, let's just do the partnership. They didn't vet them out or nothing. They were just like, y'all got $100 million, we got y'all, or whatever the deal was. I don't know. It doesn't say the dollar amount, but I'm pretty sure it's a lot of money if we're dealing with a soccer club,
right?
So why Barcelona did the deal in the first place is because the club has ongoing debt and financial pressures and is seeking new revenue streams, right? So the trend is crypto sponsors can be lucrative, but they come with reputational and regulatory risk. And what fans should know is that a club partnership does not make a token safe or endorsed for an investment. And then an anonymous team and thin disclosures are major warning signs. So somebody didn't do their due diligence. or unless they just didn't give a fuck and they were just like,
oh shit, we couldn't hear you. I don't know what happened. I think the Wi-Fi going in and out.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, we can hear. No, we can hear you now. I don't know what was going on. Okay. Unless it was me.
Just to sum it up, pretty much these guys need to vet out, whoever they get into partnerships, for the most part.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all know if we do anything, we do our due diligence and try to vet out as much as we can, before, presenting anything to y'all. So if a big ass club like Barcelona has the resources to be like, okay, bam. But I feel like they just saw dollar signs and they were just like, yo, let's get this quick money real quick and whatever.
Exactly. And now look at them. Now look at them. So now they're somehow going to distance ourselves from crypto. Like, no, it's not crypto's fault. That's for the word for 2025 is accountability. Y'all didn't look into what y'all was partnering with, so that's y'all fault. I don't feel bad for you whatsoever.
Nah, that's so be careful. Just because a club they should be credible, but this is a credible club, but they hurting right now, so they need bread. So they like, yo, we just enter this partnership. I guess Ripple or whoever, because who did XEC partner with? Because remember, Yo Gotti had one of them jerseys on.
I don't know which soccer team it was, but whatever one Yo Gotti owned, y'all can look it up. I don't know, because it got XEC on the jersey. Yeah, so it's one of them teams.
But yeah, that was pretty much the gist of it, yo.
Or was it DC United? Yeah, Yo Gotti owns DC United, so that's the one that has XDC on there. Yep.
Okay.
So yeah, y'all. Let's talk about Cardano real quick. We got Cardano. So a Cardano price prediction. So Hawkinson blames institutions for crash. So did they crash the market on purpose? All right, Charles.
Your boy. So Charles, who's the founder of Cardano, says the big institutions caused the recent crash on purpose. So this is his view, because they push prices of ADA and Bitcoin up, then sold huge amounts and shorted the market to profit on the way down. He says that this pulled tens of billions out, dried up liquidity, and stressed market makers, which worsened the drop. So, this is his opinion. It was like a coordinated pump and dump by institutions. This is what he says. And then ADA, Cardano fell about 35% in a month, but bounced back to 40 cents as Bitcoin reclaimed, the 90K area. And then Charles also thinks that the recovery could stick if the U.S. rules get clearer next year. He references the Clarity Act and attracted new capital and confidence. And the chart setup is, it could either go one way or another. I don't know about ADA, fam. I mean, I know ADA was supposed to be one of the ones, but the fact that he was trying to get the FBI involved and all this other shit,
Yeah, I'm a little weary of them now. I don't know what's going on with ADA.
Yeah, and I think there's a video in that article if you want to play it too.
Oh yeah.
The reason why the price is low is because institutions got what they wanted. They pumped and dumped the DATs, guys. They sucked out people like Citadel and others tens of billions of dollars. They pumped it up, shorted it down, and made both sides of the trade. The market makers got squeezed, and the greedy people took greedy money from the president on down. That's why the markets are in the toilet. And it's been one fucked up thing after another fucked up thing after another fucked up thing. And everybody was over leveraged and the bubble popped. That's why the markets are down. It's the typical standard. You all got fucked as retail people by the institutions yet again. So where are the retail people? Why are they not in the markets? Because we didn't learn the lessons of 2021. We lived in a world of irrational exuberance where NFTs had pictures of bananas selling for $1.5 million, and a copy of a copy of a copy was worth $5 billion. And we all just pretended like we're the smartest motherfuckers in the world. We all deserve these gigantic valuations. And then FTX collapsed and Luna collapsed, and the everyday person got wiped out in the industry. They got destroyed.
Do he be pulling up to the White House? Was he pulling up to the White House?
I don't know if he pulled up to the White House, but he didn't tell one lie in this video.
He didn't. He didn't.
He didn't lie. So that leads me to believe that Charles Hoskinson may
he's a whistleblower, bro.
Yeah, because why he just telling them like that? That's probably why they fucking with his coin. You can't be trying to get in with them people, but then talking about them.
Maybe they made some promises and they didn't keep their promises. So he said,
"Yeah, bro,
about to air them out."
Like you can't get on the internet and say the type of stuff we be saying.
He mad though, big mad, yo.
Yeah, he must have got fucked. He must have got fucked over. He had to get fucked over. He must have got fucked over because he's pissed because he's like he's like that coming from somebody like Charles Hoskinson is telling me that I don't think he's lying and he got fucked over.
He been on this type of time. So like somebody said in the chat, he been on this type of time, but I ain't never seen him this.
Oh damn. Well, if he been on this type of time, then that explains why he had to get the FBI involved the other day.
Yeah,
so they fucking with him.
He ain't part of the club no more.
Oh, somebody said Charles always angry. Yeah, he must have got kicked out of the club, gang. It's over for it. I sold my ADA holding, or converted it, I shall say, allegedly. Well, all good. Oh well. So I won. I have no regrets. But then again, they might blow up. No,
you just never know. Because listen, I'll say it again. There wasn't that paperwork with the World Economic Forum along with Ripple and Stellar. So maybe and Solana.
Somebody said Twitter is where he rants at all day, every day. Yeah, they will in time. Yeah, they probably will blow up in time. So it's all good. But yeah, let's talk about Tether real quick. So Tether, so the S&P downgraded Tether after it bought more gold than any country. The S&P. So why did the S&P downgrade Tether?
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting. So let's get into it. So why S&P downgraded Tether after it bought more gold than any country? So Tether has dramatically increased its holdings of both gold and Bitcoin, plus other non-traditional reserve assets. Excuse me. Its gold reserves alone reportedly amount to 116 tons of physical bullion. So on November 26, 2025, S&P downgraded USDT's stability rating to the lowest possible level, which is 5, which is weak. Citing rising exposure to volatile or illiquid assets, Bitcoin, gold, secured loans, corporate debt, and insufficient transparency and reserve management clarity. Damn. According to S&P's logic, Bitcoin now makes up 5.6% of USDT's reserves, exceeding the stablecoin's over-collateralization buffer, creating a risk that a steep drop in BTC or gold or other risky assets could erode reserve coverage, potentially threatening USDT's peg to the dollar. So S&P also flagged that Tether provides limited publicly verifiable detail on its custodians, counterparties, and the composition or eligibility of reserve assets, making it difficult for independent parties to assess true liquidity or risk exposure. So in short, traditional finance rating frameworks view Tether's reserve composition as too risky, unpredictable, especially for something marketed as stable and redeemable 1-to-1 for US dollars.
Shitted on them. Damn.
So why it alarms traditional finance? So volatility risk. So assets like Bitcoin and even gold, while hard assets are not stable in dollar value day to day, that undermines the expectation that each USDT is backed by stable, liquid assets allowing for immediate redemption. Gold and certain assets can be hard to liquidate quickly, especially in stressed markets. So meaning mass redemptions could be problematic. Also, transparency. So, without clear public disclosure on where assets are held, who custodians and counterparties are, and how reserve asset eligibility is defined, external auditors and investors may distrust the backing. That sounds familiar to what one of my good old friends come on here and says all the time, Kurt. That, so just common questions to ask about this whole USDT Bitcoin situation. So I'm gonna read that one more time. Without clear public disclosure on where assets are held, who custodians and counterparties are, and how reserve asset eligibility is defined, external auditors and investors may distrust the backing. So it's a mismatch versus traditional stablecoin expectations. So stablecoins are supposed to function like digital cash equivalents. Backing them with volatile or illiquid assets contradicts that promise under legacy financial logic. So hence S&P's downgrade. It believes the foundation assumptions of what a stablecoin should be are being violated.
They knew this from the get-go.
They did. That's why. Is this FUD or could this be the beginning of something that people don't want to talk about?
All Tether does is, all right, we got a partnership this week. We got this. We bought more gold. We bought more Bitcoin. That's their MO. That's been their MO this whole time. So now it's just like, oh, we not fucking with them. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the price. I will say the price of gold is just gonna keep going up. You know what I'm saying? But I do get it.
I think now that we're going more into a regulated space, because this is the first cycle where you can't leave out regulations. Like when you're looking at this stuff now, it's like, okay, like they've gotten away with it in the past because we didn't have regulations, and that's valid. So I always told y'all, when it comes to Bitcoin and Tether, I'm in the middle. I see the pros and I see the cons. I see both sides. I see both arguments. I empathize with both sides. It's just this time you do have to consider that regulations are in play, and Tether may not be getting away with the same shit that they've been getting away with this whole time. That's all I'm saying, and that's valid. I just think it's a valid argument.
That's definitely valid. That's definitely valid. But it wasn't a problem until now. S&P for real.
It's been a problem. It's just y'all was stacking y'all pockets and getting rich off of it. So that's why it wasn't a problem in the past, because y'all was benefiting off of it. Kind of like the stuff Charles was just saying in that little clip right there. Y'all would benefit. They benefit on the way up and down.
Sure do.
You know what I'm saying? So they was getting paid. That's why I want no damn problem, because they were getting paid. It wasn't no issues. But I will go over why much of the crypto market doesn't share the panic and even sees value. So despite the downgrade, USDT is still the largest stablecoin by far. So the market cap is well over $180 billion. It has historically maintained its peg through multiple cycles of crypto price crashes and stress. So many crypto users and traders view Tether's holding of gold and Bitcoin not as a liability, but as a macro hedge, a reserve buffer capable of absorbing fiat dollar depreciation, financial system instability, or currency reset. So those hard assets feel like insurance against fiat collapse. That I agree with. Tether reportedly still holds substantial treasury bills or short-term instruments, meaning a large portion of reserves remains liquid and and safe. So the risky assets portion is only part of the mix. So for users operating globally, especially in emerging markets with fiat currency risk, USDT remains highly useful because of its liquidity, utility, and the convenience of a dollar on chain. So in short, within crypto, asset mix diversification and hard asset backing are sometimes seen as a feature, not a bug, particularly in a macro environment where fiat instability is a concern.
Okay, so the overall sentiment is just that, okay, we're not concerned about this punk ass downgrade. We're gonna still trade. We're gonna still do what we need to do because they still number one for now.
Yeah.
For now.
I could agree with this. BK Crypto said USDC. Yeah, they want USDC.
Yeah.
Because US fresh, it's compliant. They ain't skip no audits.
And they with them people. Don't forget
they with them people. So I could agree with that.
Yeah.
I could agree with that. So I thought that was interesting. So I thought I point that out to y'all. So yeah, what it is. But
when you got BlackRock and Coinbase backing you, it's kind of hard to fail. To fail.
Nah, that's a fact. That's a fact.
They're gonna keep pushing. But USDT Tether, I feel like every single week they find another something to get into. You know what I'm saying?
They consistently trying to find somebody to partner with, somewhere to just remain relevant. So let's see what happens with Tether. Like I said,
next week. We're gonna be talking about something next week.
Yeah, it'd be some bullish news too at that. So we'll see. Well, like I said, I won't be surprised if Tether go up. I won't be surprised if it goes away.
Yeah.
So for this next article, let's talk about the legacy identity systems push billions out the back door. So legacy identity systems. So I know this plays a huge role in the incoming system that we are getting ready to get used to here very soon. So here's what's going on. So companies that rely on outdated or legacy identity verification systems are losing an average of 3.1% of annual revenue because of friction, errors, fraud, and failed onboarding. Over the set of firms surveyed, that adds up to nearly $95 billion per year. So the losses are not just from fraud. Many come from missed opportunities, abandoned applications, customers dropping out during onboarding, stalled user journeys, and false declines. So in industries like retail or online marketplaces, financial services, software platforms, travel, hospitality, and gig economy platforms, the financial leakage is significant. So many firms remain overconfident. So 96% say they believe they can detect bot or AI-driven fraud, even though 60% report rising bot-driven fraud attempts. So that confidence gap masks systemic weaknesses. So the root problem is treating identity simply as a compliance or anti-fraud checkbox. So in a world of AI-driven bots, agents, global digital commerce, and high-speed mobile customer onboarding, good enough identity systems create more friction than protection. So why this is no longer just a security problem. So the revenue and growth loss. So legacy identity systems are quietly draining value, not from headline fraud incidents, but from poor customer experience, lost conversions, and elevated friction. Then you have operational burden. So many companies compensate for weak identity verification with manual reviews, with slow onboarding and inflate costs. Over time, this becomes a structural drag on growth and scalability. Also reduce competitiveness. So businesses using old identity systems are at a disadvantage relative to rivals adopting modern, friction minimizing identity platforms. So that means slower onboarding, worse UX, and higher drop-off rates translating into market loss. So increased fraud, vulnerability. So in the age of AI bots, deep fake, synthetic identities, legacy systems are often insufficient to identity real versus fake actors, especially at scale. Traditional identity infrastructure risks being outmatched. So as financial systems, exchanges, payment rails, and fintech scale up globally, identity infrastructure becomes a critical backbone. So weak legacy identity systems expose firms to revenue loss, fraud risk, and operational drag. So in a world leaning toward more automation, AI agents, decentralized finance, trust and identity verification will be central. So entities that fail to upgrade identity systems may become less competitive or even irrelevant. So for crypto and alternative asset infrastructure, if stablecoins, blockchains, tokenized assets, DeFi protocols integrate more into mainstream finance, they must solve identity or verification or risk of failure, regulatory friction. So identity system fragility represents just one more structural risk in global finance architecture. Diversification across assets, rails, and identity robust platforms becomes more important. So they got to get this down pat because traditional KYC is definitely obsolete. So that's like paper or document, selfie, manual check, is no longer enough. So fraud methods have evolved. Verification must evolve too. So multi-factor, multi-model, real-time monitoring, AI detection, decentralized identity infrastructure, etc. They got to get all that shit down pat, which I'm sure they have. I'm sure they got all that shit.
Yeah.
We talked about some verification systems last week about verification. So I just wanted to share that with y'all because the identity side of this, the KYC side, all that is just as important as everything that we've been talking about. So they point out a problem because they probably getting ready to show the world a nice little solution here in a minute.
But they're gonna point out a problem through something. It's funny because I saw one of my son was watching one of his favorite content creators last night. One of his newer videos from like a day ago, and the whole shit was talking about a cyber attack and how the world needs to. Yeah. And I was just like, and he's popular too. So I'm like, they always got to tell you stuff, even if it's through like little kids shit. So it was like a cyber attack, and the shit was in disarray, so they had to figure out. And once they figured it out, it was all good. But yeah. Something. I mean, I could be wrong, but I feel like some type of event has to take place for people to feel comfortable to be like, all right, this is what we're doing. This is what we have to do now. They have to reel them in, or not, because back in 2020, all they had to do was be like, oh, we shutting the schools down because Jokers is getting sick, and that's all it really took. We shutting the NBA down, and that's all it really took to convince people. So maybe nothing crazy. Maybe nothing crazy like shutting stuff down got to happen. You know what I mean? Because I kind of feel like they've been doing their test runs when all these outages happen anyway, right? When the outage happened earlier, that was just another test run. We already know that.
Yeah, so, and just to have something to show and tell. Yeah, fear is a motivator. Exactly, Paige. Fear is a motivator.
Yeah. So but what you're saying definitely makes sense.
Yeah.
I know we had a couple joints from X too.
Yeah. So let's talk about Ripple real quick. So this clip right here, I just wanted to talk about it because I know Ripple did apply for that national trust bank charter. So Brad Garlinghouse, he gave an update on that. And he's saying that traditional banks are nervous. They think Ripple getting a Fed master account gives crypto an unfair advantage. They already have the advantage. Y'all have the millions and billions of users already on your platforms. It's y'all fault that y'all ain't trying to update y'all legacy systems. So
they scared.
They're scared as hell. So yeah. I'll play this clip real quick.
Speaking of banks, I mean, Ripple has applied for a national bank charter.
Yes.
Can you just sort of give a brief overview, any updates in that process? How are things going there?
I don't know the exact answer. I mean, look, I think it depends who you talk to. It's been a little disappointing to see some of the traditional banks start to lobby against things like that. It's like, look, if we want more stability, we want clear regulation, having a Fed master account actually is a net plus to that. You want to de-risk stablecoins, having Circle have a Fed master account, have Ripple have a Fed master account, that's actually a good thing. And held to the same regulatory standards as a bank. Great, we're in. We feel like we're already doing that. Ripple launched our stablecoin under a New York Trust license, which we feel like is the gold standard above what even others have done, because we are all about serving institutional money movement. And institutions aren't going to work with us unless we have really leaned into being compliance first.
So I thought that was some good feedback. So yeah, they scared. So yeah, like you said, the truth is simple. Banks aren't worried about fairness. They're worried about Ripple moving faster and blockchain leaving legacy finance behind. I mean, that shit's inevitable. That's just inevitable. So you can't beat them, join them. It's simple.
They like, man, we're not gonna be making all this money no more. We're not gonna be making all this money.
They're gonna actually make more. They're gonna make more because they'll be able to get yield. You know what I'm saying? They can earn yield on the fees and all that stuff. Like they could probably make more money.
The difference is the average person can get in too. So it's just not gonna be as much ignorance out here. So I think the average person is gonna have their pick of the litter. But like you said, they're gonna make money on top of money regardless. But they know that the average person is just gonna be like, all right, I could go over here and earn such and such percent, or I can go over here. Because once they start getting these percentages out, and we're talking about the low percentages, when we talk about 8-9%, that ain't nothing. That ain't nothing, right? Even though that sounds like a whole lot right now, because the banks only give you point whatever, that ain't nothing compared to what you really could be getting, fam. And what these banks and all these companies are going to be getting. So if people wake up to that shit, which they probably won't, but some of them will. Some of them will.
Yep. So this is just another clip of Brad Garlinghouse. He says that XRP doesn't have a CEO. Ripple doesn't control XRP. He talks about how it's an open source, decentralized, and the community decides. So amendments have passed even when Ripple opposed them. So that's an 80% validated approval, not company control. So the XRP ecosystem is bigger than any one company or person. That's insane. So I'll play this clip of him talking about that real quick.
And some of these banks are going to go away.
People will say things like, well,
what'd you say?
And then some of these banks are going to go away for sure.
Oh yeah, some of them are going to definitely fail.
Yeah. Ecosystem. People will say things like, well, XRP has a CEO. And I'm like, who is it? Ripple has a CEO. That's me. There's scores, if not 100 other CEOs building around the XRP ecosystem. And I think that's when I hear people say that, I think, okay, they're not educated about what's going on. And so we need to educate people. Obviously, you see that in a number of other tokens where there's a very distributed, very open source community. People don't understand. Ripple does not control XRP. It is open source. There have been amendments passed to the XRP open source technology that we opposed. We were against them and they still passed. That's okay. That's open source technology. There's other things we have championed that have passed, but it takes 80% of the community approving those amendments, which Ripple doesn't have control of that ecosystem. People will say things like, well,
yep. So I feel like that was well said. That was well said. Just to clear some stuff up, because man, the XRP haters, boy. They come. You know what's crazy? This is what I really don't like. Like, I don't mind. Okay, we're gonna have haters. You're always gonna have haters. What I don't like about XRP haters is y'all only pop out when in dips. Y'all have like for real, it's like some of these niggas. I should start calling them out by name, but I don't feel like giving them no clout. But y'all niggas are nowhere to be found when the market is pumping. XRP is over $3. Getting ready to head to all-time highs. Y'all niggas just probably sitting around scared shitless because you done told whatever little audience you got that XRP ain't going to $5. And then y'all get scared as soon as it hit about 350, 370. Then y'all over there like, oh my God, y'all sweating. And then y'all don't pop back out to the market dip. That's what annoyed me about y'all. You know what I'm saying? Y'all only pop out during dips. Y'all pop out when it's uncertainty in the market. Y'all pop out when there's uncertainty in the market. That shit's annoying. I'll be honest. Appreciate y'all for the gifts.
Word up.
Appreciate that. But
we got the 100K over here too.
Yeah, appreciate y'all. Let's keep running it up. But yeah, that's what annoys me the most about XRP haters. I think that's why I be so irritated with them. Cause y'all just pop out when it's, you know what I'm saying, when y'all want to spew some hate. But so anyway, so because y'all hate XRP so much, I got another XRP clip. Shout out to Kurt. Kurt sent this over to you, D. What is this again? What is it showing?
It's an IMF video. It's an IMF video, and there's a still picture right there. That first picture right there is like XRP in the middle of that.
Okay.
Not XRP. Ripple's in the middle, like right there in the middle. Somewhere.
XRP is right here.
Or XRP. Yep. And it's in the video that you if you show it. Yep.
Okay, what is the video supposed to be? You told me something earlier. They accidentally said something, or they was trying to.
No, they just hit it in the mix of it.
It's in the mix of the video. Okay.
Yeah.
Money has come a long way since the first uses of shells or coins millennia ago. Today, it may even be considered our most used technology, as most people are using money that is recorded digitally. So what's the next step in this evolutionary story? Let's talk about tokenization, or how we turn our pocketbooks into something that's programmable. Why would we need programmable money? We use money to consume or save, and owning assets is a common way to save. Tokens can make it faster and cheaper to buy, own, and sell assets. Say that I want to buy a corporate stock or bond. Today there would be a long chain of middlemen between me and that company. Think for instance of a clearinghouse, an independent bridge between the buyer and seller of an asset. It waits to receive the buyer's payment and the seller's asset, and then exchanges them, avoiding the risk either side fails to deliver. But waiting costs time, and time is money in finance. Another example is registrars, institutions that transfer a company's interest in dividend payments to the asset owners. A tokenized market can automate their function. Tokenization can make financial markets faster and cheaper through programs that automate or reduce the role of intermediaries. Researchers who've recently studied tokenized markets found significant cost savings. Tokenization's promise is visible in the numbers. But efficiencies from new technologies often come with new risks. Automated trading has already led to sudden market plunges known as flash crashes. With their instantly executed trading, tokenized markets can be more volatile. Also, tokenization allows chains of programs to be written on top of each other. In a crisis, these could interact adversely like falling dominoes. Another risk is that many new markets could emerge, and if their tokens don't speak to each other, known as interoperability, markets could fragment and fail to deliver faster and cheaper trading. That means specific policies may be needed for tokenization to really deliver on its promise while limiting the risks. Indeed, governments have rarely been content to stay on the sidelines during important evolutions of money. So if history is any guide, they may take a more active role in the future of tokenization.
All right, they hit it right in the mix. They did. They showed it a lot. They did hide it right in the mix. That's the IMF. People, do your homework on the IMF.
Yep. Nah, yeah, the IMF is definitely them cats that, you know, if your country's in trouble and you need a loan, they can bail you out, but now they own your country. They own your territory for a long time. So, you know, definitely do. And that was another one that, you know, Ripple was in the mix of. You know, you don't gotta play that one, but you know.
Yeah, but they hit. It says the most recent World Economic Forum video has a little surprise hitting within the first 2 seconds. So they showed it right here. So shout out to them doing the screenshot. So it got Ripple everywhere. Oh man, I'll show y'all right here on TikTok. Y'all gotta go to YouTube though. Y'all want to see the screen and stuff? YouTube.
Right there. Right, y'all. Shout out the curve. Shout out the curve center.
Yeah, let's see. Shout out to KB. Shout out to KB holding it down in the chat over there. Before I chime in.
Somebody talking.
What you trade that ADA for? Just curious. I thought ADA was cool. ADA's cool. ADA's cool. I just didn't want to hold it no more. I just felt like it could go somewhere else. It made me some money and it did. So, you know, I just swapped it. I swapped most of it. I kept a little bit, but I swapped most of it. So yeah, listen again. XRP is not a security. That is why they fought in a lawsuit for 5 years. So y'all people that keep asking, how long have people been waiting for XRP to go up? Blah, 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 blah. Listen, XRP will go up as we enter this new system and the tech begins to be utilized. XRP is a technology. It's not a security. So it's not going to be going up in price based off of some fucking articles. Just not how it works. That's why we're following the news. We just come up here every single day because we're keeping up with the transitional period into the new global digital financial system. Once this digital global financial system goes completely live and we begin to utilize the new system and we merge it with the old system, TradeFi and DeFi, and we merge everything together, then you're going to start seeing the price of XRP go up. That is why there are ETFs. It's going to be a supply shock. Listen, it's so many different implications. It's a tired ass argument. But if you're not patient, don't hold it. This is macro investing. Macro. So for those that are looking for quick fixes and quick money, you need to go to another channel. But I know a lot of people that have made a lot of money. I know plenty of people. We got people in BlockNation up 6 figures off of XRP. Okay, already, and it ain't at $5 yet. We got people up 6 figures. I got people. Listen, I can't say much, but I know plenty of people that have made plenty of money off of crypto. I mean, off of XRP. Okay, it was people who got an XRP mad early that held it, that got in when XRP was below a penny. Okay, got hundreds of thousands of XRP tokens because they got in early. So how much money you think they sitting at? You do the math. If they got over 100,000 XRP tokens, XRP went to 390. How much you think they made? Okay, so it's like, come on, guys, come on. Like, once we get the Clarity Act, we get some regulations, get that market structure bill done, and Trump signs it, it's gonna be a whole different ball game. But y'all gotta have some patience. Again, macro investing. Y'all need to understand the difference in long-term and short-term investing. Okay, XRP didn't sit in a lawsuit for 5 years for the hell of it because it was just good talking points and it was just something for people to report on. Okay,
5 years. Damn.
If you don't have conviction on a token, I can't give it to you. D can't give it to you. There is no YouTube creator that can give you conviction on XRP. You've got to go and put the elbow grease in and actually learn what the asset actually is. Then you'll understand that it's a technology. Then you'll understand, oh, so we're waiting on blah, blah, blah. But you have to go get your own conviction because you got to go put the elbow grease in. But I'm sick of talking about it. That's why I had got fatigued with XRP because I got sick of people that just only want to come out the woodworks when the market is okay.
And you know what? It's like it's the most polarizing in the game, so they got to talk about it one way or another. They can't avoid it. You know what I'm saying? You could try to talk about all these other assets and stuff like that, but we know what's the number one talked about in the game. It's number one for a reason. Talked about in the game for the reason.
You feel me? But it's a reason. I mean, the IMF, the World Economic Forum, you know what I'm saying? It's just a lot of huge platforms that have documented this.
1,700 NDAs. 1,700 NDAs. Shout out to homie over there on
300 plus banks and 1,700 NDAs, and y'all sitting here asking why the price ain't went up, yo. Whatever the hell y'all over there talking about.
Yeah. Wrong conversation.
Yeah, so that's why I said you gotta get your own conviction. But that's why it's very. I'm gonna emphasize this again. It's very, very important to understand that XRP is not a security, so it will not act as one. It is a technology. Okay, it is a technology. Yes, Stronghold is also a big player. Let me actually talk about that. I meant to bring that up earlier before we get off of here. Stronghold. So yes, now everybody can buy it on Uphold. So apparently for that 24 hours. I guess they was trying to get a little MVP members first dibs. I guess they wanted them to feel important. But now they have opened it up to everybody. So I'll pull the tweet up over on X. I just thought it was mad funny. I said Uphold full of shit.
Yeah.
Whatever. Y'all want people to feel okay about spending that little money they had to spend over there. To get that access first, to get them first dibs. So whatever. I saw the play there. I saw what y'all did, Uphold.
Shout out to y'all over there on YouTube getting it cranking. It's 100 people over there. It's 102 people over there. 99 likes.
99 likes. Appreciate y'all. The 3 people that ain't hit the like button. What's good?
100 likes.
100 likes. Appreciate y'all, gang. Appreciate it. Appreciate TikTok over here for 112K likes over there. Appreciate y'all for double tapping that screen. So it looks here like, let's go, let's find it. Where is it at? Stronghold. So SHX was trending on Twitter. So here we go right here. So
of course.
Yeah, you know, it was trying to move a little bit. Like I said, I needed to go past 2 cents. So
yeah. We didn't see this. We didn't see these levels before.
Yeah. I just want to see some new levels. I'm happy to see my money go back up though. I was already in profit though, because shout out to DeFi King. We was early, so
yeah,
you know, we was good. I didn't even invest that much in Stronghold and made a whole lot of money.
Shout out to DeFi King.
Pays to be early, gang. Pays to be early. The earlier you are, the less money you got to spend to make a lot of money. That's what I do love about crypto, but them days about to be over with. So good luck. Good luck. Oh, here we go. All right, I'm coming. This is the last thing, then we can go because I look like D and them over there getting ready to turn up. All right. All right, here we go.
Kids over here. You know the door.
There we go. All right. So Uphold right here, y'all. So yeah, they new listing. So Uphold on Uphold Stronghold went live over there on Uphold. So yes, the SHX token powers Strongholds ecosystem, enabling real-time settlements, discounted transaction fees, merchant rewards, governance, and more. So yeah, they even put an article up here. So if you're curious about SHX, they have a little blog they put up. So what is SHX? So it's a Stronghold combines blockchain technology with traditional financial services as it endeavors to deliver fast, secure, and accessible payment solutions to celebrate. Hold on. There we go. To celebrate its addition to the Uphold family, we're offering a special promotion. Of course, they is. They knew they knew the level of people that was on that whole Stronghold. They trying to capitalize off them people. Come on now, Uphold. But there you go. They talking about Uphold right now. So as y'all can see, for those that's not hip, it's easier for y'all to get now. So y'all just gotta tap into Uphold. Y'all can purchase on there. I believe you can still make sure y'all purchase on using XLM though. I wouldn't fuck with that ERC20. Fees gonna be high as hell. But yeah, ACH payments, Stronghold, direct merchant financing, checkout systems, card processing, virtual payments networks. So yeah, this ecosystem aims to make payments faster, more secure, and more inclusive for businesses and individuals alike. All I know is they're on the Stellar blockchain. They're working with IBM and they own 222 labs. Do your homework.
So that's a lot of good stuff you just said.
Yep. So IBM is using them as well. So I would do your homework on Stronghold if you haven't already. But that's definitely a good asset to look into. It's a penny right now, so take advantage of these prices.
Still a penny, but not.
Oh yes, they're also on the Nasha board. NACHA Nasha. They're on the Nasha board as well. So can't leave that out. Thank you for reminding me, Paige and KB. Appreciate y'all. The partnership with Nasha. Yeah, and with Nasha as well. So you can't sleep on that. So do your homework on Stronghold. Do your homework. Yeah, we like Zebec. Somebody said we feel about Zebec. I like Zebec. I'm still holding it. Got a nice bag of Zebec. We love Zebec. So yeah, we fucking with Zebec allegedly, because I don't really hold no crypto. I'm thinking about selling on my. I might sell on my crypto tonight.
SHX has the smallest market cap of all the ISO. Won't take long for hit $1 if volume is good.
Okay. Go. So, yep. But other than that, y'all, that was pretty much the news. That'll kind of conclude the news for today. News and updates over here in the crypto space. Again, everybody over here, make sure y'all tap in. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. Trying to get the subscribers up. Make sure y'all like that live if you haven't already. Make sure y'all hit that like button for us. We appreciate it. But yeah, we do got a class coming up on Sunday. Intro to DeFi class on Sunday. It's gonna be at 6 p.m. Eastern. You get a free month in the Patreon. Make sure y'all tap into that class. Learn how to earn passive income through DeFi. It's gonna be a lot of DeFi talk in 2026. A lot of talks about AI agents. All that stuff is getting ready to they're getting ready to shift gears on that. So make sure you ahead of the curve and make sure you are familiar with DeFi, have educated yourself. Again, it's a live class. This class was the audience wanted this, y'all asked for it. So yeah, we're doing the intro to DeFi class, so make sure y'all tap in. All right. Also, we got that metaverse class coming up as well. December 13th and 14th. So learn about how to make some money while gaming. Second day of that class is gonna be in the metaverse, so that's gonna be a pretty cool class. You don't need no goggles, anything like that. So that's gonna be a pretty cool class to be a part of. So make sure y'all tap in with that with Coop and Robbie. So they definitely gonna have some gems for y'all, show y'all how to make some money through gaming. So make sure y'all tap in with that. But other than that, y'all, intro to DeFi class on Sunday. Make sure y'all tap in.
All right.
All right. So we'll see y'all next time. We got some news and updates. All right, y'all.
All right.
Stay easy. Stay dangerous.
Stay dangerous.
All right, y'all.